Hi, everyone. Melissa here from Jarvis, and we would like to welcome you to our training session reviewing the brand new front office module. First, I'd love to introduce my co-host, Sarah. Sarah, take it away.
Hi, everybody. Like Melissa said, my name is Sarah. I'm a member of your customer success team here at Jarvis, and I have 6 years of dental front office experience.
So just like Sarah, I too have experience in the front office of a dental practice, and we both know firsthand how challenging it can be to keep track of all the multiple tasks that you have, following up with patients, all while keeping the practice on track. And so we're very excited to introduce this front office module to you today. It was designed to empower your team in a very meaningful way by helping you increase productivity and efficiency all through accountable workflows for the front office. So let's dive in and learn a little bit more. We'll be opening up the chat for additional questions and answers in this webinar. If you have any questions, feel free to type your name, what organization you work with, and what question you have in mind, and a member of our customer success team will do our best to answer your questions. The front office module is a powerful tool for front office teams to monitor their performance and drive practice production to the next level. The purpose of this module is to make your job easier and help your practice perform. The first view in the front office module that we'll be discussing is the schedule view. This view allows you to track your performance to goal for the day as well as the month. The schedule view provides 3 performance graphs at the top of the page. The first graph, monthly production, includes 2 subviews. A month-to-date view, allowing you to compare your production to where you should be at that point in the month, as well as a monthly view, which compares your actual production to your scheduled production versus your monthly goal. Your month-to-date goal equals the working days in the month divided into your monthly goal to calculate a daily goal times the number of days so far in the month. The daily production graph shows your daily production for the next 7 days compared to your daily goal, allowing you to see which days need the most attention. The visits graph compares your completed new and existing patient visits to your goals. Anytime you see the little Jarvis tips light bulb, pay attention. These guys are giving you hints on how to drive your results throughout the module. Opportunity lists are at the bottom of the schedule view page. Opportunity lists allow you to build your schedule in 4 ways. The first way is broken appointments. This opportunity list displays a list of all appointments broken within the month selected. It will include both your scheduled and unscheduled broken visits, so you'll want to sort this list to identify your unscheduled visits first, and then sort by the appointment dollar value, highlighting in green your most high value appointments. The hygiene recall due list displays a list of patients by recare due date. You can apply this filter to identify patients that are overdue by certain month criteria. For example, you could sort this list to patients overdue by 3 to 6 months to identify patients who have recently been in your practice but are now overdue for their appointments. The unscheduled treatment opportunity list displays a list of patients that have active treatment plans limited to the last 24 months and can be filtered and sorted by presented date, allowing you to tap into treatment that's fresh and on the top of patients' mind. This can also be sorted by the appointment dollar value, allowing you to identify the highest value appointment opportunities first. Hygiene Reappoint displays a list of patients seen in the month selected that need a future hygiene visit. Again, here you'll want to sort to those unscheduled patients and identify which patients need to be scheduled for a future hygiene visit. All opportunity lists allow you to take action. You can take action in 2 different ways. The first way is to identify the patient's contact information via email or phone and then document your outcome by choosing contacted scheduled, contacted did not schedule, or unable to reach. The second way that you can take action on an opportunity that appears in the list is to create a reminder for follow-up at a future date. Setting reminders will also allow you to track your performance on the Performance tab. To take action on the reminder and document your outcome, click on the 3 green buttons that appear in the action column next to the patient that you contacted, and then choose your follow-up outcome. If you choose did not schedule or unable to reach, you can choose to either reschedule the reminder and assign the follow-up to any team member or save your note without rescheduling. Notes made will be saved both in Jarvis in the activities section of the patient model card and in select practice management software. If you're not contacting the patient today, but you'd like to schedule or assign a reminder for later, or if you'd just like for the reminder and the follow-up to be documented in the performance section of the front office module, you can do so by creating a reminder, opening up the patient model card, and clicking Add Reminder. It's always recommended you review the patient model before contacting a patient in order to review the unscheduled or broken appointment needs, verify any future scheduled visits, review the account balance, identify any family that may also need visits scheduled, or review the previous activity. This just helps you go into the conversation more prepared.
Hi everybody, so this is our schedule tab. A couple things I want to note before I move into the tab is our new date picker for front office. Front office, you can select the current month or any month in the past with the drop down, and you can also select different locations from this drop down. If you do change anything up here, you do hit the refresh button here for Jarvis to reload the data. If you don't hit that refresh button, it won't update to your new location or new time frame. Working down the page, we have our three graphs. We have monthly production, daily production, and visits. What I really enjoy about monthly production is not only does it show me month to date numbers, so my month to date production versus my month to date goal here, it also shows me monthly, which is my month to date production plus my scheduled production versus my monthly goal. So I can see in visual indicator, not only have I already surpassed my goal, but I know that I still have a little bit more scheduled here as well. And when I hover over, I can see those individual metrics. Our next graph is our daily production graph. You can see your daily production total, your daily doctor production, and your daily hygiene production as well. For my total here, what I like to come into is I like to double check on our scorecard. So let's look for our Monday here. When you hover over a tab, it will actually allow you to click in to view your scorecard. Your scorecard just shows you the daily metrics for that day, and it also gives you helpful Jarvis hints and tricks and tips down here at the bottom to really work on recovering your day and giving you workable lists. Like for example, it looks like on Monday I had 9 broken visits that need to be rescheduled. I can click here and it will bring me to a workable list of those patients. Xing out of here, we also have your visits graph as well, where you can see your new patients versus existing patients, and just hovering over those will give those metrics as well. Scrolling down the page, we have our opportunities graphs. These do closely correspond with the opportunities list that Melissa was talking about earlier, but they're more visual representations. For example, I can see very visually a graph form of my unscheduled hygiene reappoint versus my scheduled hygiene reappoint, my broken visits, my hygiene recall due, so I know which category to focus in on. For example, it looks like 0 to 3 months is about 23% of my overall hygiene recall due, so I can focus in on that time frame, as well as unscheduled treatment. And all 4 of these graphs correspond to these 4 lists down here. Couple things I want to point out about these lists. If you click on these breakout buttons here, this will actually give you a breakout of the patient information card where you can click in and you can see all their information as well as any treatment plans, AR summary, and any activities and notes. So you can put notes in here, and if you have EagleSoft and Open Dental, those notes actually can write back into your systems under comm logs. So really great ways to make sure that your information is free flowing. I also like to point out here we have a completed button. So if you are completing any of these, even if they're unscheduled, if you're taking action on these lists, you can see how many opportunities have had action taken on them. You can also export this list into a CSV as well. What I like to point out, especially about the hygiene recall due, is the fact that I can use a filter and I can focus in on those different time frames that we talked about up here. So I can focus in on 0 to 3 months, and that'll give me just a list of patients that are overdue by 0 to 3 months and really allow me to work on that schedule. We can also create reminders from these patient information cards as well. So say I was not able to schedule them, I can actually go ahead and click this Add Reminder button, and I can say that this is a hygiene recare. Normally, I'm going to plan for those to be about $100, potentially. I can go ahead and assign it to myself, and I can put any notes in I would like and change the due date. So I can say I want to make sure to call her by next Friday, and I can add that as a reminder to myself.
Next, let's discover what all appears under the Tasks view of the front office module. Tasks really allows you to automate your workflows through those reminders we discussed earlier. The Tasks view helps you prepare for your scheduled patients and follow up on your reminders. You can review tasks and reminders that are due for today, the next 2 days, the next 7 days, or the next 30 days using the filters at the top of the page. There are 4 types of tasks that you can take advantage of in this view. The first one, unconfirmed appointments, shows scheduled appointments that are not yet marked confirmed in the practice management system. The second type, missing insurance, shows scheduled new patients that may need their insurance verified and attached to their account. Missing data or balance shows scheduled patients that are missing important key information or have a balance on the account that you should research in advance of their appointment. Reminders are the follow-up reminders that are created in an automated fashion or manually within Jarvis. The missing data or balance work queue shows patients that might be missing important information from their account. Any patients with a red X showing in one of the columns may be missing information, and you'll need to update that information in your practice management system when you call or contact the patient. If you successfully collect the missing information, you can click the red X to mark the item completed in Jarvis. Completed actions can be found using the completed toggle to display only completed items on any of the opportunity lists or task lists. The action icon under outstanding balance allows you to indicate if you successfully collected the balance or not. Let's talk a little bit more about reminders and how they work in your front office module. Reminders in Jarvis help practice teams stay on top of any patients that need follow-up in 6 different areas: broken visits, hygiene recare, unscheduled treatment, appointment confirmation, and past due accounts and claims. There are 2 types of follow-up reminders in Jarvis. Automated reminders. Jarvis will create these reminders for you based on what you have applied in settings and configuration, or manual reminders. These are reminders that any Jarvis user can create to remind yourself or another Jarvis user to follow up. Automated reminders only populate once you have completed the setup of automated reminder preferences, or if you manually create a reminder.
So this is our task tab. So tasks allow us to automate workflows. The task view helps you prepare for your scheduled patients, where your follow-up reminders, and also where your follow-up reminders will be located, like the one we created a little earlier on the schedule tab. I can review tasks that are due today, the next 2 days, the next 7 days, or even the next 30 days by using these little clicks here. I like to work in next 2 days or next 7 days. Next Tuesdays kind of tells me what I need to get done today, but next 7 days really allows me to plan my schedule out. For example, I can see I have a lot of reminders that are going to be due on the 4th. I can maybe try to start taking like some of those missing data or balances and trying to spread them out during this week here. You can see we have our 4 different tasks here. We have unconfirmed appointments, missing insurance, missing data or balance, as well as your reminders, and these all correspond to these lists down here. So let's go take a look at reminders. So it does look like that reminder I created carried right over here. And what I can do is I can take action on this reminder now that it's been created. I can take these 3 little dots here and I can see all the actions I can take with this reminder. So what I'm going to do is update reminder. Say that I made contact. I was able to schedule this patient for her $100 pro fee appointment and say she's nervous and this is a test. And these notes will be in Jarvis. And then when I update that, I can then take the next step and complete the reminder. And if I'm sure I want to complete the reminder, yes, and now it's a completed reminder. The next thing I'd like to go into here is all of the different tasks. So you have unconfirmed appointments, you have missing insurance, and a lot of people find the missing data or balance task really key to streamlining their day, because not only does it say maybe I'm missing a phone number, or it looks like, or I'm missing a referral source. And I know a lot of people do really like to track that. And I can see if they're missing that information, what day they're coming in on, and any outstanding balance. So say this patient comes in, I was able to get their referral source. I can go ahead and complete that action, and that will show up under my completed.
The performance view allows you to measure the outcomes of each team member's follow-up and performance on different follow-ups and reminders. The various columns indicate the number of reminders assigned, the number of attempts documented in Jarvis, as well as the estimated scheduled dollars and attempted and scheduled rates.
Going hand in hand with our tasks tab, we have performance. So performance, like we said earlier, allows you to measure the outcomes of each member's follow-up performance in this view. So what you can do is you can see all sorts of statistics associated with the people who have been attempting reminders in this time frame. So I can see for myself, I'm Sarah. I have 66 reminders assigned to me. I've made 6 attempts. I've scheduled 5 of them. I've recovered about $550. My attempted rate is about 10%, and my scheduled rate is about 8%. And so this lets you get a bird's eye view about how all of your reminders are being carried out, if they're being carried out, and the success rates. You also have the same data over here in a daily activity graph, so I can see by day who's attempting the most reminders. So I can see Jarvis demo attempted 1 reminder on the 15th, and then I can see Sarah myself, I did 3 on the 23rd, and I did 2 on the 25th. So I can really look at this daily graph here. Scheduled reminders just gives me a visual representation of how all my reminders are doing. My untouched versus my not contacted, my contacted not scheduled, and my scheduled reminders.
The collections view allows you to drive performance of your collected dollars. You'll notice that this view displays 3 different performance graphs related to patient balances, collections, and adjustment percent.
Our collections tab is key at driving collection performance. So this tab displays our patient balances, our collections, including collection percent and copay collection percent, as well as adjustment graphs. Like anywhere else in Jarvis, anytime you hover over these, you can see all of the different balances associated with the different adjustment types. What I really like about these graphs is that we don't just give you the graphs to look at them, we allow you to drill down into them and see what's really going on. What I like about patient balances, this first tab in particular, is say your office has an initiative to tackle the over 60 balances. That's the ones that you want to go after. You can actually quickly sort this with the highest balances to the top, and you can go ahead and click this patient breakout like we have in the other tabs, and I can quickly call this person from there. I can also double check their ledger as well as their AR summary and any activities and notes, because maybe somebody called them the other day and this is where you might see that information. What I also like about this is adjustments, because adjustments are a key part in any practice to understand why they're happening. For example, it looked like we had a high fee schedule error, and it does look like I'm seeing a lot of fee schedule errors. So my question would be, why are we seeing these errors? And what can I do to counteract that? Do I need to update my fee schedule in my practice management system? What are my next steps to take?
The KPIs view is another view that allows you to drive performance in different ways. KPI stands for Key Performance Indicators and breaks down KPIs into 3 distinct categories: office, doctor, and hygiene.
Now, a lot of our Jarvis clients will think our KPIs are very familiar to them. They will have seen them in the KPIs module, but we wanted to give them to you in a different presentation here by giving them to you in such a way where you can actually use them to achieve goals. So KPI stands for Key Performance Indicator, and we have 3 different views of KPIs here in our front office. We have office KPIs, doctor KPIs, and hygiene KPIs, and these are all what Jarvis has found out or thought are key metrics in this field. So what I really like about this difference in KPIs compared to our KPIs module is that it gives me for example, we're going to look at patient retention. My patient retention right now is 53%, but my goal is 56 because I can put goals in here now. But when I hover over, I can see that I'm almost complete and just a little bit more. These are kind of like rings on your Apple Watch. By the end of the month, you want to see the ring complete. You can also use any of our tool tips to show the definition of this KPI. So right now, patient retention, here's our definition. And I can also use this pop-out button again to see what goes into the breakdown of that KPI. And I can also export this into an Excel file as well. What I like also about our new feature, which is group average, and this allows us to take your organization as a whole's performance over the past 3 months and average it out to get an average of your organization. So each office can see how they're doing compared to a generalization of the rest of the organization.